Hello, everybody. This is your host, Nick, and today I have a fun little thing here that I actually welcome everyone to try. So, if you're like me and suffer from excessive gear acquisition syndrome, you're likely to have a lot of pedals sitting around with different effects. So, I thought of this fun little thing here. I call it, let's say, let's do 4. 4 is a good number for now, but you can do any number you want. I'll call it the 4 pedal randomizer challenge, or the effects randomizer challenge. It's not really a challenge, it's just about having fun. It's not a competition. But you'll need 2 things. First, either print them out or just go ahead and write them down, but get all your little pedals written or typed on pieces of paper, and then go and get yourself a hat. I'm going to be using this hat here as it can hold a lot of slips of paper. And then go ahead, cut up the pieces of paper, which I'm going to cut to that after I finish explaining. Put them in the hat, then draw your random pedals, and then make a pedal board out of them, and then try and get a fun tone. Like, you don't need to do a whole song or anything, just let randomness pretty much decide what you want and make a fun tone. So, I'm going to cut here and get all these little pedals cut out, and then I'm going to throw them in the hat, and then we're going to see what we get. Now, one thing to add while I am cutting these out is I'm going to be excluding any of the, what's it called? Like utility pedals. Like, I'm not going to go and say, like, I'm not going to put the tuner in here. That's kind of necessary if you need one. Like, a tuner pedal will always be in here. It's usually on your board anyways. Same with like normal utilities such as like buffers and things like that. Because there's no, while they do help, it's not exactly a effect per se. So we're just going to be doing main effects pedals, and we're going to see how those all work out here. And then, of course, like I said, well, one other thing, this is more of a me situation given the whole Clone Calamity series. I'm only going to have one slip of paper in here called Clon, or else I'm going to have like 70 pieces of paper of just different types of Clon. That's kind of skewed the results here. So we're playing it smart, but if you have like, I doubt anyone else is doing this right now, but if you have over 50 of the same pedal, go ahead and just label that as just one, not a bunch. All right, so we have them all in here, and then just going to give that a little mix up. And then we just go ahead and start picking them, except I can see the words, so I'm going to hold it here and not actually look at what I'm picking, because, yeah, I can actually see the words because I didn't fold. Use bigger slips of paper so you can fold multiple times. Do as I say, not as I do. Cool, so I actually have to turn around to do this. All right. Also, I decided to go for 5 instead of 4 just because 5 is a more even number. I don't know why I said 4 to start. So let's see. First one got here is, what does that say? The Keeley Synth 1. Second one is the DoD Meat Box. Third one, the Intensive Care Audio Vinacava Filter. Fourth, Game Changer Audio Plasma Pedal. This is going to be a very noisy setup. And last one is the Red Panda Tensor. I don't know where my last one went. I think it just went through the holes to escape. Anyways, this is going to be an insanely noisy setup. Let me think how I'm going to do that. Well, the plasma pedal would be distortion, so if anything, I'm probably going to put that last so it just doesn't kill the signal the whole way through. And then I can have the filter before that to make sure it's clean. I know the meat box is a sub, so it shouldn't kill it too bad. But then the synth one is a synth pedal. I don't know if I'm going to put the meat box first or second. Because, like, okay, I know the synth one, the meat box will be 1 and 2. I just don't know which one will work better, first or second. Yeah, I'm going to do the meat box first, the synth one second. Then we'll filter it, throw that into the plasma pedal. And then, yeah, I'll put the tensor at the very end, probably. We'll see how I do it, because I know that has a really good wet dry, so I can just probably put it as more as modulation at the very end. All right, let's get those pedals. All right, we got everything pretty much hooked up now, and I'm going to be using my guitar because I actually want to try and find a decent tone out of it. So let's go ahead and get the guitar plugged in. And I know this is usually synth, but for this one I want to do guitar. I don't do enough with the guitar, because I do want to find a pretty cool tone with it. So we'll see what we can get out of this with some randomizer. Plus, it makes it harder for me because I know I can tweak whatever I want on a synth. Unlike guitar, where all I get is just. All right, so let's see how this will skedaddle here. All right, there we go. There's our basic tone. Let's see what we can get out of this. So let's start the sub octave. This out of the way some. That's why I put that first, because I knew this was going to blow up the sound a bit, so we can try and get that nice. And let's do. Let's keep the sub in low. Let's do that a little bit less than that. And then octave and output. Let's see how this was. Let's get that low. Yeah, there we go. That's all I really wanted, because I've just wanted, again, just to compare. Nothing, and then. So we're starting good, getting the signal pretty fat. So synth one, I know this is going to go and just kill us into a synth, but I want a fat signal going into that. Let's start with square. I don't want to blow out anything before I even start, so I'm going to try and be conservative with this one. And let's start with no blend, level, and attack. keep it about there. I'm thinking that's decent enough. Like I said, I don't want to, I'm trying not to kill the signal because I still got the distortion at the end, plus the tensor to really modulate. So, yeah, let's do... This is quite something at this point because I'm not even touching it, but it looks like I've made a sort of constant noise generator. So, sand's causing a lot of noise. Let's just go and randomize this. So we'll get this already in here. Let's do reverse. Well, that was a lot of fun. If anyone else wants to participate in the challenge, like I said, well, not challenge, just fun, go ahead and do what I did. Put all your pedals, print them out, put them in little slips of paper, pick 5 at random, make something out of it. And this probably sounded just absolutely awful to a lot of people, but hey, I made something fun. This was actually pretty experimental. Well, I recorded it anyway, so I don't have to take a picture, but this is good for me and my uses. This would be awesome for a breakdown. The guitar I'm using is just a 7-string Schecter, so I was having fun going in with the low notes and tuning it down using the whammy and all that because it's got a Floyd Rose on it. And just playing through it, I mean, gets really noisy at some points, but when it balanced well and knowing what you're playing, especially like I see like the main thing I really did, as you can tell, I did the blends on a lot of these to make sure the blends were correct so it wasn't absolutely just destroying the signal and getting enough through. But as it stands, I mean, this was a lot of fun. So, hey, this has been your host, Mick. Go ahead and like the video if you like what I'm doing here. Just want to follow along, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss anything. And if you want to do the challenge too, go ahead and let me know with a comment if you do this. And like I said, go ahead and subscribe, share it around with your friends who have a ton of pedals and want to try this out. But thanks for watching. Bye.